This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
Hey, bud.
Oh, hey, Ken, what's going on? Hey, are you free tonight? Dude, Steel Panther's in town. They're doing an acoustic set, and I got backstage pass. Ken, what are you doing? Are you Tebowing? What is this, 2011?
Oh, hey, Ken, great job on that report, by the way. I know it was last minute. What the hell are you doing?
It's Tebow.
All right, look, Ken, I know you're high on this whole Tebowing thing, but Tebowing has been sitting in the drawer longer than Fritzy's underpants, okay? Now this is what everybody's doing now.
Thanks, girl. Coming up, I'll give you some really cool tips on how to... The box store starts right now! Hey. Come on, man!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple: see to get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power Tower for box score.
Welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They're all the way out there on the other side of the coast in the New York City man cave today. Breath of fresh air, a lot lighter fare today on the show. And you guys seem to be in a good mood. Does the camaraderie of being on the road trip affect the mood in a positive way, Pauly?
Yes and no. It's always fun to go on the road, even just in New York for the week or a day. We had a good dinner last night, but sometimes when you go on the road, one or more of the Danettes didn't get a good night of sleep, and it will be punchy. And it's good to have somebody that's a little out of it, in a good way, I guess.
Or one of the Dans will be a little punchy.
yeah, it's not necessarily always following the Danettes. Sometimes the Dan.
Sometimes in New York, you'll hand Dan a sheet of paper or something that has to be read later. He'll crumple up over there. Where's that sheet of paper I was supposed to have? That's not an un-New York situation. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Oops.
You did.
Edit that out of the final
Let's
show.
fix it in post.
Yes, fix it in post.
Well, the spirit of camaraderie seemed to be with three of the Danettes. One of them, not so much.
Like, you're the best guy to run all the equipment on the Dan Patrick Show.
Not just the best guy, I'm the best ever.
Yeah, the best ever.
Right, best ever.
Fritzy is the best booker that I've ever had on this show. Pauly is the best producer I've ever had.
Shockwaves firing through radio right now.
Yes.
Off that statement.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of unhappy people to hear you say that.
What, McLovin?
Feeling a little left out.
But what are you good at?
Oh.
I'm serious. I don't know what you do well.
Oh, you can't say that, Dan. Stop it.
On a Friday?
You know exactly what you just did there, and that's not nice.
I did.
Yeah. When I tried to walk away in 2012 and Dan begged me to stay, that's not exactly what he was saying.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah.
Well, I had to go pick up lunch and I tried to walk away and Dan's like, no, just stay. You can get it later.
You know, the reason that I know I reacted so strongly to that statement by Dan.
There's a backstory.
There is a backstory that Dan once famously told a former producer of the Dan Patrick Show. And one of the many in a long line of former producers who take a lot of credit for the success of the show now, even though they never actually worked on it, this version of it.
Or barely worked on it.
Or barely worked on it, was Dan, when things were not going well with this producer and they were sort of coming to a head, and Dan said to him, I don't know what it is you do well. And it was like, that was like the, okay, well, this is done. We don't have to worry about this anymore. And so for him to reach back into that bag of tricks, I don't think that's where you and Dan are right now in your relationship, are you? Are things coming to a head here? Ooh. Or was that just a mean...
No, I think when Dan's in a bad mood, he'll take it out on me or Fritzy. I don't think that's actually well documented. I think Dan would be the first to admit that.
You think Dan was in a bad mood today?
Yes.
You think a bad mood or just a weird mood?
No, funny. No, it's not even just bad mood. If he just feels like poking fun at somebody just for the heck of it. But the problem is I don't know if the audience understands that.
I think they like it.
They like to see Dan jab people.
Yes.
There are sometimes
It's like the Howard Stern thing, right?
Yeah, like he really was in like just like sort of off kilter today. That was kind of like, whoa.
But that will happen with a lot of.
What did you guys do at dinner
I
last
couldn't get a
night?
good read on his moves today. I
Yeah.
don't want to drop that on you. Like that's not.
Is that because they're more live guests? That sort of changes the chemistry
Yeah,
of a
he's
show.
playing to the person in the room as well. It's not like a standard
Yeah.
procedure show. Actually, dinner was pretty calm last night. You didn't. That wasn't a bad time. It's just it was a nice little chit chat and calm. Seriously, we talked about the food most of the time.
Yeah.
It was that good where we were all just
crazy stories or anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's behaving.
So yeah, maybe to answer your question, sure. Yeah, maybe Dan is starting to tire of my act. Possible. It's very possible.
I don't know what it is you do well.
No, he's not tired. But one person that was tired was Omar in Atlanta.
All right, Omar in Atlanta before we take a break. Yeah.
Got nothing to do with that one.
Omar. Omar's Dan Patrick. I think he's in a deeper sleep now. Omar.
Yeah, that was very strange. That was a very weird moment. I don't know where you go from there. And I like that Dan stayed with it for a little while instead of just saying, going once, going twice, moving on. It's one thing when the guest isn't paying attention or their radio is blasting and you're hearing the delay or whatever. But this guy is loudly snoring into the phone, and you could hear him sleeping on the line. And I just thought it was extremely funny. The fact that we went back to him later to see how he was doing was very funny.
I love that we stayed with the bit, although it did make me think of Fritzy. And Fritzy is a guy with sleep troubles, sleep apnea, well documented. How jealous are you of that? There's other people out there who are like the exact opposite of you that can just fall asleep while they're waiting on hold to get on a national sports talk show.
Very jealous, So when I leave in the morning and I see the wife and kids sound asleep, I'm not jealous because it's my family and I'm glad.
The guy's about to go on national
sleep.
TV, national radio, and he's like, yeah.
For him to just be able to nod off like that and start snoring and totally forget that he's on hold to go on with Dan on national radio and TV was pretty hysterical. I'd like to be able to nap like that.
Brock, I'm a big fan of the Howard Stern Show, and I probably half a dozen times I've been listening to the Howard Stern Show when, I think it's like Bobo or one of his regular callers will be asleep on the other end of the line, and what they'll do is, and they did this with Artie Lang a long time ago. Artie fell asleep in the studio while on the air, in the studio in person. Fell asleep. And Howard, instead of going, wake up, which is, there's nothing funny about just waking him up and ending the bit, he sees how long it'll go, and that's one of those where instantaneously I thought to myself, and now 2 Days is running the phones up in Connecticut. We're not near each other. I was hoping, I'm like, 2 Days, don't hang up on this guy.
Yeah.
And I IM'd him, and I just said to Dan, stay with it. Dan didn't need me to tell him to stay with it. He was staying with it. And we were hoping we could go back to him 10, 15 minutes later and he'd still be snoring, but it was pretty fun.
I've been in the car with Artie Lang while he fell asleep. That was very scary. Paulie, has anyone ever fell asleep on the, oh, he was driving through the tunnel. It was frightening. Paulie, has anyone ever fell asleep on the show before, a caller?
No, I think this is the first. I can't remember any of us even, on this show, if you yawn, Dan,
oh my God.
If you yawn, you might as well, flip Dan off. He'd rather you flip him off.
That's why I've learned how to yawn through my nose.
Show that move.
Where I don't have to, you just sort of, like your nostrils flare a little bit, and that's sort of how you yawn, and then it's like, all right, nobody knows, got away with that one, because if you yawn, Dan's gonna be like, what the hell? Yeah. I'm, carrying a nation here, or whatever he says. And you're like, dude, jeez, sorry.
He's saving the world. We'll keep you up for this next segment. Coming up, Chrissy Teigen returns to the Man Cave, but first, Peter King showing the box score some love, and this is totally not taken out of context at all.
But I'm a box score guy
wait,
every
well,
morning.
that's an hour.
10 minutes with the box scores.
Oh, really?
Oh, I love box scores.
Welcome back to the box score. Chrissy Teigen dropped by the New York City Man Cave today. McLovin, with your clear-eyed analysis, which Danette really changes the most when a supermodel walks through those doors?
Well, the obvious answer is Fritzy. Although I feel like Seton is pretty close with Chrissy. So when Chrissy comes in, Seton turns into Chrissy's best friend, Seton, which is a different Seton than normal Seton. But Todd is more openly, there's the drool and there's all that stuff.
Fritzy was...
I was very excited that she was coming in.
Go ahead, Fritzy.
It's been a while, and it was great to see her. She's all decked out in the little shorts and the boots. I'll leave it at that. But she looked great, and we always love having her. And with her personality, it's a home run every time. She's really
Brock,
fun.
I've been thinking about this for a while because there was a moment in the show where Chrissy, I don't know who said something. Someone said something about taking their shirt off, and Chrissy goes, shirt for shirt. I've heard that phrase before.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, and Chrissy's not a kind of person who's going to say something and not do it. And I was wondering if one of the Danettes or Dan had actually taken their shirt off.
Right.
Would she have?
I think she would have.
And I wonder, because I was like thinking, as a producer, I'm sitting there going, I don't know whether to push this or pull back. And I was sitting there going, and I kind of, in my head, I froze up a little bit. I'm like, I don't know whether to push this or go back. Because I was like, I'll take my shirt off. I don't mind myself. But do I want her doing it on our network?
Well,
or putting her in a position to do it?
It did get sort of uncomfortable, which actually was really funny because we were all like, yeah, laughing. And then all of a sudden, she just goes shirt for shirt. And everything stopped. All of a sudden, there was no laughter. There wasn't even any talking. And it was just like, whoa, are we really doing this? Okay, what's really happening? And then it got awkward because, do we really go there?
Yeah.
I kind of hope not.
You kind of changed the subject right there, Seton, and you started talking about Dan's.
Well,
here's what I did. If you want to know, totally honest, I didn't want the 5 dudes in some sort of way pressuring a girl to take her shirt off on TV.
What? But that's
even though she brought it up or whatever, I'm like, wow, this is a really bad look right now for everybody. Let's just sort of get it off of this.
Honestly, Dan's shirt was. A lot of people wanted that to come off for different reasons.
No, they wanted it on fire.
Yeah. yeah.
But Dan better not be watching today. That's all I can say.
You always push for that, Paulie. This is becoming less of a man cave and more of a friend zone out there. Fritzy, you were tasked with singing to Chrissy Teigen, but this isn't your first time singing for a supermodel. Let's take a stroll down memory lane.
Okay. You ready? Here's a
My heart starts aching when I think of making a plan to let you go. I keep thinking maybe tomorrow.
He went.
Man, that's one that doesn't get enough love, that clip. Fritzy sort of awkwardly standing there, a little mini dance. She's dancing to like a completely different song in her head or something. Like, what an odd just collision of worlds. That's like, this just does not make sense
right
at
before
all.
Kate Upton really took over the world too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, very strange, but what again, a great experience. Even
Which one do you rank higher?
I'm gonna have to go towards spooning with Chrissy Teigen, who had to teach me how to spoon because obviously I'm not familiar with how that works. But as cool as Kate Upton was, and she was a great sport while I was singing Rick Astley, what happened today, I just don't know how that's gonna be matched, and we all think that I should just retire because it's all downhill from here.
Fritzy, how much did the spooning with Chrissy Teigen sort of affect your nerves before you started singing?
I was actually surprisingly okay. I just didn't want, things to move during flight or anything like that. And I was just trying to, behave myself. Dan's staring at me and he's warning me and we're maneuvering around on the couch there. And I was looking forward to singing. I was rehearsing yesterday, and I was actually looking forward to singing to her. I didn't know. I thought maybe she was gonna sit on my lap on the chair, or I would sit across from her. I had no idea there was gonna be spooning and lying across the.
Spooning usually the guy's on the outside with his arm around the woman. Typically,
I have no idea.
You were getting spooned by Chrissy Teigen.
Pretty much. All I know is that there's a supermodel laying all over the place, and I'm singing too, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
There's a spoon of big vanilla ice cream with hair all over it. Okay, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Fritzy Legend.
My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections.
'Cause all of me
Oh my
loves
goodness.
all of you.
This could be the greatest day of my life.
Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me. I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning.
I'm usually a pretty chatty guy, I'm freaking speechless, man. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I was sitting there. I'm supposed to be the producer of the show. I literally sat over just like this and watched. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to try to interject. Chrissy knows exactly what she's doing with a bit. I knew she was going to take over, and I was like, instead of trying to inject or produce or do anything, I literally sat there like this and said, I'm just going to watch this go on for the next 1 minute and then see what happens. And I enjoyed it.
Everybody, you could hear everybody laughing, and then Chrissy starts singing, and it's like all laughing, and then all of a sudden everyone's just like, yeah. The room is silent again. You're like, dude, what?
One of those out-of-body experiences that's like, what is happening here? This cannot really be real life right now.
Fritzy, the boss called you out for saying this was a better day than your wedding day. How's this go over with former Cougar of the Week, Mrs. Fritz?
Yeah, that's not going to go over well. I need to check the tape. I really hope I didn't say that. I certainly meant, if I did, that my best day as far as at the workplace.
You said during the break, Paulie, this is the greatest day of my life, and you didn't say anything else before or after that. So I assume
I'm trying. Give me a chance to correct myself so that the locks won't change on the house when I get home later. But Jen, Jordan, Lindsay, the birth of my children and walking down the aisle with my lovely bride, that would trump this. But truth be told, that's very close second what transpired earlier today on the couch.
Hypothetically, what if your lovely and patient wife, Jen Fritz, said,
here we go.
That's great. Good for you, Todd. I think that's a great moment for you. I would also like a similar moment. I would like to lay on a couch with John Legend and have him sing to me. I mean,
I guess it's only fair. I would be a little uncomfortable with that because I just would. But yeah, I guess it's only right and it's only fair if that opportunity presented itself and John Legend wants to come over, or
if he
Jen's invited over to.
If he happens to like call up and say.
Yeah, you never know what can happen, and I guess
he's going on the Jen show later on. And
he's on the way to
I'm
Malaysia.
not sure how that would transpire exactly, but it's.
You let me worry about that.
When everyone says the greatest day was the day my kids were born, I didn't enjoy that day. Like every other day since then with the kids has been good, but
yeah,
that
the physical look of it.
That day was like I was up for like 24 straight hours. I had to eat hospital food. I don't get it. The day my kids were born was not that great. Sorry. Am I going?
That's very honest.
All right, from the box score to the back rows kids, daddies love the mommies very much. Coming up, we're gonna raise the mainsail and hit the murky waters. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. PR. Yarr! Welcome back to the box score of Ashty Land Lovers. As captain of the foul box score raider, I'm broadsiding you with a wager that you don't know the parlance of the seas. Sorry, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day today, and so we're very excited about it here at the box score because we have no lives. So we're gonna play a little game with the guys out there. Oh, they all got patches on their eyes, and we're all suffering from vertigo, and I'm very dizzy. All right, I'm gonna ask you a term. It's a pirate term. And you just need to give me the broad definition here. Okay, front row. The word is booty. What does it mean?
Modern day or old time pirate days?
I believe the Beastie Boys sang a song about that.
Booty call.
Pirates' booty would be like when they rob somebody, what they made, the money or the treasure that they gained.
It's treasure, yeah.
Thanks, Eye Patch Adams. You are absolutely correct. It is treasure. Back row brunettes.
Eye Patch is a total flashback of my childhood.
The word is fathom.
What's the word?
Fathom?
Fathom.
That's a pirate term?
Fathom.
Like I can't fathom that could be true.
You guys ever read any Robert Louis? Fathom is a measurement of water underneath the ocean.
Is it really?
Like fathoms under the sea.
I thought it was like, I can't fathom Broncos not being the Seahawks.
Yes, McLovin, be right. A unit of length equal to 6 feet.
Wow, good job.
Front row, your word is grog.
Grog, me matey.
It is an alcoholic beverage that the pirates love to drink.
Yes, it is a sticky sailor indeed. Oh, that's the stickiest one of all.
You know a few things about alcohol.
Enjoying shellback right out of the bottle. Back row, what is a Jolly Roger?
The skeleton.
Are you talking about the Urban Dictionary version of this, or are you talking about pirates?
The Jolly Roger stuff. The flag with the skull and crossbones is the Jolly Roger.
I feel so dumb that I don't know what the Urban Dictionary is.
Oh, man.
The Jolly Roger. Take an Urban Dictionary.
Yar! And this one.
Puns indeed.
May we stay 40 fathoms away from this one in the Urban Dictionary. What does it mean to blow the man down?
Good sea shanty.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised Fritzy didn't get the phrase.
Oh, can I buzz in on that?
Blow
Emmanuel
the man.
7. Oh, no, you can
I'm surprised Fritzy didn't get the phrase poop deck yet. To blow the man down, to take down the mainsail.
I'm sorry, it is not a sailing term. It means to kill someone.
Well, blow me down. That's like Popeye. Blow me down.
All right, back row. To hornswoggle would be to...
To hornswoggle?
Fritzy just did that in the back room.
Are we actually running this segment on air on actual television
That's
out
like
to the world?
80% of my weekend.
It seems way too R-rated.
Hornswoggle, like getting intimate with a piratess. What do you think of hornswoggle? I don't know. Female pirate.
Let's go with it. I have no idea.
Yeah, some kind of intimate relations between a pirate and another pirate, male or female, whatever you like.
Whoa.
Just a hornswoggle. Like spooning on a pirate ship.
Maybe in the Urban Dictionary, but this means to cheat. To cheat. Maybe you are cheating if you hornswoggle with someone. All right.
I like my definition.
There we are. Both rows tie. Oh, it's a tie. Oh, speaking of tie, we're going to guess what color Danny Jones will be wearing on Sunday night. Yar.
Yeah, red's not really a good color for an Irishman.
What's your go-to color? We try to guess every week what you're going to wear on Football Night in America.
Oh, they pick out my clothes for me.
You don't have the right to choose your own clothes?
No.
Really?
No. Well, I could, but I let them choose.
Have they ever handed you a tie and you're like, I don't like it?
Yes. They actually have 2 ties that they put with my suit, and then I get to choose. I'm not going to wear a red tie.
Welcome back to the box score. Yes, Fritzy thought hornswoggle was too. It was, I know. The eye patch is gone, but the humiliation remains. We're wrapping it up. It's last call here at the bar. We're kicking it off early. Paulie, were you under the impression that maybe the boss had more control over his wardrobe?
A little bit, because I've seen Dan do things before, and he brought suits from home, and I know sometimes like a place like NBC or ESPN will supply you with suits, but at SportsCenter, Dan chose what he wore every night. Now, Football Night in America is once a week, and I guess they don't want people conflicting, and I guess there's a lot of jobs there to do, but
Network, man.
Network. I was surprised that he couldn't choose his own ties.
Well, we here at the box score care about stuff like this far too much. That can only mean one thing. It's time for this.
The Dan at Football Night in America Challenge.
All right, guys. That's right, boys. It's game on. Just as a recap, Paulie has a commanding lead over the rest of us. He has 1 point. The rest of us have 0, but that's all about to change. We're back to guessing the color of Dan's tie on Football Night in America. Remember, the dominant color will be the one that gets the point. Stripes can be half points if our producers are in a good mood. And since Dan says he won't wear a red tie, if you choose red for your answer and he wears it, you'll get double points. I'm going to go to the close horse of the Danettes. I'm going to go to you, McLovin. What is your selection?
I'm going to go for the gusto. Give me red.
Wow.
Seton, will you be as brave?
I shall not. Although I'm conflicted right now between orange and yellow.
If you combine orange and yellow, you get red, I think.
Yeah. Well,
You might get
yellow
salmon.
And blue make green. I'm gonna say yellow. Screw it.
Fritzy, what do you have?
I was debating between orange and green, and since Seton didn't go with orange, I'm going to grab orange, since that's one of the first colors I thought.
Man, what a huge mistake.
And our leader in the clubhouse, Paulie, your selection.
Here's my reasoning here, Brock.
Yes.
We're 3 games into the season, I think. Playtime's over. It's time to really, fall is here. It's not preseason, it's not even the first couple weeks. Blue, go back to what got you here, announce your presence with authority, and dominate the rest of the season.
Oh, you got me changing my mind here. I was going to go with salmon, but I'm going to go down the color spectrum and land on violet/purple. I think that's where I want to be on this one. Now, you can play along. I'm even going to call a dark gray stripe in that. You can play along with us at home. You can tweet us your response at @TheBoxScore Show, and make sure you put the hashtag Danette FNIA Challenge, and we will let you know who the winners are on Monday. And we'll especially let you know all the smart-ass
If you have any
answers.
characters left after that hashtag, you might be able to still enter an answer.
Yeah,
But that pretty much burns about 130 of your characters.
Yeah, if you have any power left in your phone after typing all that, you'll be great.
Okay, well, Fritzy, in your best pirate voice, who's on next week?
Now, mateys, we're going to have ESPN college football analyst Jesse Palmer, which sounds very much like Mick. I say you can't win, Robin! This guy will knock you tomorrow!
Eat lightning crap letter.
You're going to eat lightning and crap thunder. Catch that chicken, you Italian bastard!
Get all that olive oil out of you. Okay. Thanks for watching The Boxer. I mean, holy.
that chicken!
Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 right here at DirecTV. Who loses? Oh, our Snowflake. Cheers to you, Snowflake.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.